Day 1. This place looks impossible. In the heart of the vast Sahara Desert, only dry sand can be seen for miles. The ground is hard, the wind is hot, almost nothing survives here. Local farmers wanted to change that. They began by marking long planting lines across the empty desert floor. Deep trenches were carefully dug into the sand. Truckloads of rich black soil were brought in and poured into every trench. Next came the water system. Black drip irrigation pipes were laid beside the dark soil. Every pipe was connected to a reliable water source. Small water droplets began soaking the soil slowly, creating the perfect environment for young roots. After several days, healthy pomegranate saplings arrived. Each sapling was carefully planted into the prepared soil. Workers gently pressed the soil around the roots and gave every plant its first drink of water. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but beneath the surface, roots were spreading. Week after week, fresh green leaves appeared. The young pomegranate plants became stronger. Bright green branches slowly spread across the orange desert landscape. Months later, beautiful orange-red flowers began opening across the farm. The desert was changing. The first tiny pomegranates soon appeared where the flowers had been. The fruits grew larger every week, hanging from healthy branches under the intense desert sun. What started as lifeless sand was becoming a thriving pomegranate farm. The transformation continued. Every day, the drip irrigation system delivered small amounts of water directly to the roots. Nothing was wasted. The pomegranate trees responded quickly. Their roots pushed deeper into the rich soil beneath the sand. Strong branches spread in every direction. More leaves appeared, creating patches of green across the desert. The farmers worked constantly. They inspected every irrigation pipe. Any blockage was removed immediately. Healthy soil was added around young trees whenever needed. As the weeks passed, the tiny fruits continued growing. The small green pomegranates slowly became larger and heavier. Their outer skin began changing color. Shades of yellow, orange, and red started appearing across the farm. Not every fruit survived. Some young fruits dried up and fell from the branches. The farmers carefully removed damaged fruit so the healthiest ones could receive more nutrients. The surviving pomegranates continued developing. Under the powerful desert sun, the fruits became round, firm, and heavy. Branches began bending under their weight. By now, the change was impossible to ignore. A place once covered by empty sand was now filled with thousands of growing pomegranates, and the biggest surprise was still ahead. Months had now passed. The pomegranate trees were no longer young plants. They had become strong, productive trees standing proudly across the desert farm. The fruits were changing fast. Each week, more pomegranates turned deep red. Their skins became smoother and firmer. Under the sunlight, the fruit seemed to glow against the green leaves. The farmers watched carefully. Harvesting too early could reduce quality. Harvesting too late could cause fruits to crack under the desert heat. So every tree was inspected. Farmers checked the color of the fruits. They examined the skin. They gently tapped the pomegranates and listened for signs that the fruits were nearly ready. Soon, test fruits were collected. Several ripe pomegranates were cut open for inspection. Inside were hundreds of bright ruby-red seeds packed tightly together. The results were impressive. The fruits were juicy, the color was rich, the seeds were fully developed. The desert experiment was working. Across the farm, thousands of pomegranates were now approaching peak ripeness. Harvest preparations began immediately. Workers brought harvesting baskets into the orchard. Collection stations were prepared between the rows. The moment everyone had waited for was getting closer. Very soon, the first major harvest would begin. The harvest season had finally arrived. Before sunrise, workers entered the orchard carrying empty baskets. The air was cool, but everyone knew the desert heat would soon return. The first pomegranates were ready. Workers moved carefully from tree to tree. Each ripe fruit was clipped from the branch by hand. The fruits were handled gently to prevent damage. Basket after basket began filling. Bright red pomegranates appeared everywhere. Some branches had produced more fruit than anyone expected. The orchard became busy. Workers formed teams across the farm. Some harvested fruit. Others carried full baskets to collection stations placed between the rows. As the morning continued, piles of harvested pomegranates grew larger. The red fruits covered tables, crates, and sorting areas. Every pomegranate was inspected. Damaged fruits were separated. The best fruits were selected for fresh markets. Uniform fruits were grouped together by size and quality. The results were remarkable. Thousands of healthy pomegranates had been harvested from land that was once nothing but dry sand, and this was only the beginning. Large sections of the orchard were still waiting to be picked. The biggest harvest days were still ahead.
Look how red this one is. Yes, mashallah. These are the best ones yet. Stack this one on the left tower. Watch the forklift coming through.